The only thing Aman Sinha of the BJP, please hear me. The only thing Aman Sinha, Sanjay Jha, welcome. Bijon Mishra, welcome. R. Vaidyanathan, welcome. Atul Kumar Anjan, welcome. The only thing Aman Sinha worse than being ridiculed by everyone for not revealing the names is to be in a pathetic situation where after not revealing the names, you are forced to reveal the names. The only thing worse than not revealing the names, Aman Sinha, is being forced to reveal the names. Why did you do this on yourself? आपने अपने साथ ऐसा क्यों किया?
Arnab, you have raised several pertinent questions, and I hope you will give me at least 3 minutes of
Yeah, but it is an open debate. I can't decide whether you get 3 minutes or 2 minutes or 1 minute. Anytime anyone wants to come into and interrupt you, I'll have to let them if they are making a pertinent point. So, please carry on. The debate is on. It's an open debate.
Allow me to start, Arnab.
Yeah, please start.
Arnab, first of all, let me categorically say that the government has revealed all the names. Not tomorrow.
No.
In fact, on 27th of June, we have revealed all the names to the SIT.
Why not to the Supreme Court?
Yeah.
No, why
Today,
not to the Supreme Court?
when the proceedings were going on in Supreme Court, I was there.
No, you have not revealed it to the Supreme Court.
Today, when the proceedings were going on before the Supreme Court, I was there.
No, you've not revealed it to the Supreme Court.
No, at no point in time
did
government object. No, please allow me to complete. No. At no point in time did Attorney General or government object to names being revealed to the court. And in fact, it was offered by him that there is no difficulty. I will
did you
submit
or
the
did
names
you
as
not?
soon as
No,
tomorrow. There is no difficulty at all.
No.
We are ready with it.
Did you or did you not?
We are ready with it.
No, ready
so
with it means
that
what?
is,
No, 1 minute.
I do not know why a controversy is sought to be made out of this.
I request you, sir. I request you, sir,
categorically, I can say that
not
all
to make
the names
allegations
have been
against the
revealed
Supreme Court.
to SIT 6 months back.
You are making allegations against the Supreme Court on national television.
To the SIT, which has been... No, Arnab, I know what I'm saying. I absolutely know what I'm saying, and I was there in Supreme Court. Please do not put, my words into your mouth or your words into my mouth.
No, 1 second. Atul Kumar Anjan is rebutting you. Debate is open now. Atul Kumar Anjan, yes, please. Atul Kumar Anjan. Atul Kumar Anjan is the first.
And today also, the government of India never objected. In fact, the government has offered to release all these names, and that has been recorded in the other.
One at a time, Atul Kumar Anjan.
He has given the list to the court. Why he is trying to twist? The question is this: why government failed?
No, absolutely not. Today, for the first time, court asked for it and we have given it.
Why they were trying to avoid giving the names, and now the people's voice has been reflected in the judgment of the
Nobody was trying to avoid giving the names. We have already given the names 6 months back. Where is the question of avoiding?
It is a structure against Narendra Modi. It is a structure against the whole NDA government and BJP government. Actually, by this order, Narendra Modi's face is tarnished because he was trying to shield the names of the culprits.
That is totally a wrong and a misleading charge. As my friends have been, habitually misleading people, again they are trying to do so. We have revealed all the names 6 months back, and tomorrow we are going to reveal it to the court in a sealed cover. What is the difficulty?
You have misled the Supreme Court.
What is the charge that you are making? What is the point that you are making? We have already revealed it to the SIT, which has been working under supervision of the Supreme Court.
No, 1 second. Aman Sinha, 1 second. Congress wants to come in. Congress wants to come in before that. No, 1 minute.
Serious stricture against the government.
No, you see.
Well, Arnab,
sir, please. Sir, please.
Congress showed monumental laxity.
Sir, please.
They never even touched
forget
this
what the
issue.
Congress said.
Arnab, let me make one germane point here. Arnab, let me tell you. The Supreme Court today has wrapped this government on the knuckles based on the affidavit this government has submitted. Arnab, if you have read the affidavit, I'm sure you have.
Absolutely not.
This government,
the government, in fact, today has consented to giving this list.
If you read the affidavit, they are telling the Supreme Court, we are worried about right to privacy. They're saying we are going to
I
sign
have
a
the
bilateral
affidavit,
agreement
Mr.
with the
Sanjay
US
Jha.
government.
I don't come
Therefore,
without
we
reading
have to
like
now
you.
worry about confidentiality. So therefore, I think the intention of this government, if the Supreme Court had not ordered for the revelation of the names, I can guarantee you on your channel, this government would not have released the names for the next 100 years. It had no intention. Therefore, they were planning to release names for political purposes, malign a few
Names already stand
individuals,
revealed.
create
I
a
don't know
certain
what you are
aura
saying.
A point of fact is being made.
It is working under
A
supervision
point of
the Supreme
fact
Court.
is being made.
What is the
Gentlemen,
point
a
that you
minute,
are
please.
making?
No, 1 second.
Why are you trying to mislead the nation?
No, who's misleading
After
who?
sitting silent for all these years.
Who's misleading who?
and
1
putting
minute.
Tons of black money.
Aman,
Now you are going on
distorting
preaching.
reality.
You are
being
misleading the
disingenuous
country.
here.
Oh, you know what? Don't
You
throw
are
adjectives at
distorting
each other. Let me come in.
No,
You
we
are
are not.
misleading the country.
Mr. Raj
The name
Jethmalani has
stands
told
revealed
you.
6
Mr.
months
Raj
back.
Jethmalani in
6
an
months
open
back they have
letter
been
said that
revealed.
your government and
So
your
what?
finance minister is misleading
So
the
what
Supreme
Mr.
Court.
Ram Jethmalani has told? So what?
What do you mean
What
by
is the
so
point
what?
that you are
Really?
making?
So you
Government
believe
has
that on
already
black
revealed
money
his
you
name 6
stand
months back.
absolutely white, are you? Listen,
Listen,
Aman,
what does
show
my
some
friend mean? I
humility and
cannot.
grace.
I cannot understand.
Show some humility
If
and
Ram
grace.
Jethmalani says
Are you
something, then it is
are
not
you
going to
today
become
trying
divine
to
truth.
take on the Supreme
We have
Court?
already-
Are
we have
you
already
trying
revealed
to
these
challenge the
names.
Supreme Court order? Because your finance minister has not.
I am saying you are misleading the nation. You are misleading and misinterpreting the orders of
No,
the
we
Supreme
are
Court.
Okay,
not.
one minute. Aman
Read
Sinha,
your
Aman
affidavit.
Sinha.
Therefore, taking
Aman,
on the
Aman
Supreme
Sinha,
Court.
minute please,
That
gentlemen.
you have been dodgy.
Please.
Your
I don't
government
need
has
to be
been
told by
dodgy.
you
Who are you
how
trying
to
to
interpret
protect
the judgments of
fundamental
Supreme Court.
Please let me come in. Let me come in. Atul Anjan, 1 minute. Mr. Aman Sinha makes a very serious allegation. Aman Sinha says, and Aman Sinha is looking at his watch, he probably wants to leave the debate quickly because he's falling short of his replies.
He will leave like the Pinky Anand last time left.
Let's see.
Arnab,
Let's see.
I'll be there as long as you want me.
That's all
but
right.
please allow me to respond to your
1
question.
minute.
I
Gentlemen,
was
1
looking at
minute.
my watch because
Just
my
a minute.
next
Aman
TV crew is
Sinha
standing, that is all.
makes an important allegation. And Aman Sinha thinks that he can get away with it. Because Aman Sinha usually gets away with these kind of arguments on other channels where they don't do their research. Aman Sinha says, have you seen the affidavit of the Supreme Court? Well, I've seen the affidavit of the Supreme Court and I can tell Aman Sinha a few things about the affidavit that he doesn't know himself. Now, Mr. Aman Sinha, in brief, the government sought...
Okay, tell me, I'm waiting.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm
Thank you,
waiting.
Sanjay Jha. I hope you can hear me now. In brief, Aman Sinha, the affidavit which you say nobody has read, including Sanjay Jha, the government sought modification of the Supreme Court 2011
I did
to
not say nobody, I
2014
said
May
Sanjay Jha.
orders. You need to listen. The government sought modification of the Supreme Court 2011 to 2014.
No, can you just repeat?
You want me to repeat it? You want me to repeat it?
Yes.
Okay, so can I
Yes,
repeat myself
they partially
once?
sought that.
Okay, I only
Partially
want...
sought that.
Okay, I only want you to ask. If I prove you wrong now, you will have to say sorry for this. The government in its affidavit sought modification...
What proved wrong? What proved wrong?
The government sought modification of the 2011 to 2014 May orders with respect to clause 26 of the double taxation avoidance agreement, wherein only those names of illicit account holders should be disclosed, which is prosecutable. Supreme Court has overruled this, saying that all or any names obtained have to be provided.
No.
1 minute,
No, absolutely not.
Supreme Court and SIT will monitor which case Supreme Court and SIT will monitor which case is prosecutable or not prosecutable. Government wanted to retain this investigation. Supreme Court has denied the modification, and it will now be overseen by the Supreme Court. And not just this, the Supreme Court said, you will give us the names and the SIT, all the names. We will not modify any earlier orders. You are providing a protective umbrella for account holders.
To that. We have already given the names to SIT.
Oh,
and
you
we
haven't
have
given it to
consented
the
give
court.
the names to the Supreme
You
Court.
didn't give it to the court. Did they give it to the court, Bejan Mishra? Did they give it to the court?
No,
And please,
Aman,
we are going to give it to the court tomorrow.
Yeah, no, Aman.
We have given a consent order.
ahead.
That is a consent order.
No, Aman.
The statement of Attorney General has been
Aman,
recorded.
Aman,
and let me point out,
Aman and Bejan
Arnab,
Mishra.
that the affidavit that you were reading, I have it with me. And that very affidavit, the order dated 4th of July 2011, categorically states
my
that
short
only
point,
after
Aman, is please listen to me, Aman.
only after preliminary investigations
please
are
listen.
complete,
Please
then
learn to
only
listen.
names will be made
Please
public.
learn to listen.
That is order of the Supreme Court.
Please learn to listen.
That is order of the Supreme
Please
Court.
learn to listen. please learn to
No,
listen.
please, I've been listening.
Yeah, so Aman, you listen to me
I don't
first.
know who's speaking, but I have been listening to all these charges,
You first listen.
been, all these sweeping
you
charges,
first listen.
which have been made on BJP.
You first listen. If you had given the names to the Honorable Supreme
know who's
Court,
speaking.
if you had given the names to the Honorable Supreme Court, which you are claiming before the viewers tonight, then why should the Honorable Supreme Court give you an order saying, I need the names? Can you answer me that? If you have given the names,
I'm sorry,
if you have
please
compiled,
do not
if you have
sort of misinterpret
done
what
all the
I'm saying.
compliances which
We
were
have given
required,
the names to
then why
SIT,
did the Supreme Court
which
give this
works
order?
under
Can you answer me
complete
that?
supervision of Supreme Court.
So why did you, why if you
Today,
give,
Supreme Court wanted to have those names.
so
and
why,
we have readily said that.
so you are saying
we'll
you gave it
as soon
tonight.
as tomorrow.
You are
That
saying
is
you
what we
gave
have
it
said.
tonight. You are saying you gave it today in the court. Why are you misleading the citizens?
I'm saying we gave it
Why
to
are you
SIT.
misleading the citizens?
I am saying I gave it to SIT.
No,
we gave
so
it
you
to
could mention.
SIT,
Why didn't you
which
give
is
it to
being
the court?
constituted
Why
by
didn't
the
you give it to
Supreme
the court? Why
Court
didn't you
and
mention?
works under complete supervision of the Supreme Court.
No. Aman, you
Arey,
must.
who are you?
You
When
must-
the court told us we are giving it.
I am a citizen. That money belongs to me. It doesn't belong to your party. Please.
You are a citizen.
Yes.
The matters are being investigated.
So why didn't you give the names? Why
All
didn't you
those
give the
names which
names
are there,
today?
they are also citizens.
Why did you not give the names? Why did the Supreme Court have to
The
give this
names have
order
already
today?
been given.
Why did the
are
Supreme
you
Court
trying
have to give this
mislead?
order?
When the names have been given to the SIT, which has been constituted by the Supreme Court,
Why didn't you mention
works
to the
under
court?
supervision of the Supreme Court.
You want to tell me that
At
Supreme
the
Court
first
did
instance, when the
you
Supreme
want
Court
to
asked
tell
for
me
it,
that
we have
Supreme
given a
Court did
consent
not
order
take
and stated
cognizance
that
of what
we'll
you
give
mentioned?
these names tomorrow. What is the difficulty?
So
Today
the-
Supreme
the
Court
diffi-
asks
the
and we give a
difficulty-
consent order, it will be given
the
tomorrow.
difficulty
Don't you
is-
see clearly that there is extreme cooperation from the government?
The difficulty.
What is the controversy that
the
you're trying to make?
controversy
You're
is
trying to mislead everybody?
your intent has got exposed.
Hello?
The intent has got exposed.
Yeah, what do you
Now, there's one more question. There's one more question. Aman Sinha. Yes, Anjan?
The list before Supreme Court. You were misleading the country for the last 150 days. And the Supreme Court judgment has echoed the view of the people of this country and the will of this country. And they have passed a stricture against the Narendra Modi and this government. Your government was trying to shield the black money holders, and one pretext
Right.
to another pretext with the procedural wrangles.
One second. 1 minute.
SIT.
1 minute. No, Aman Sinha, minute. I'm going to Professor Vaidyanathan. 1 minute,
just
gentlemen.
To take Prime Minister for the sake of getting some cheap publicity. No, please.
No, there's no cheap
you
publicity
just
here.
want to drag Prime Ministers
There
from
is no cheap
anywhere
publicity.
and
The
just,
Prime-
just
the
in order
Prime-
to get some cheap publicity.
The Prime Minister.
It is totally reprehensible.
It is not cheap publicity.
This information has been shared 6 months back.
So why are you not coming out with
Oh,
it?
one minute. Just a
SIT
minute.
which works
Aman
under
Sinha.
complete supervision
Aman
of the
Sinha,
Supreme
please
Court.
listen to me. Please, this is Arnab here. Can you hear me? Because I can't shout beyond a
Yes.
certain point. 1 second.
Okay.
You say that the names were submitted
No,
6
Arnab,
months
you
back.
are very good at that. Yeah.
No, thank you very much. So are you, if I may say so. Right? Though you were beaten by a man called Amerikai Narayanan a few days back on my program. 1 second, 1 minute. Aman Sinha makes up.
Was I beaten?
No, I don't know.
Did I
don't
beat
know.
him black and blue?
No, don't. You see. Atul Anjan, just a minute. Atul Anjan ji, 1 minute, sun lijiye, please.
All these points which you are putting on this national television, you have put before the
He has
court,
been
Supreme
taken
Court.
out by his
and
own
this
party.
all arguments has been rejected by Supreme Court.
Okay,
today.
Atul Anjan, 2 minutes, please. Aman Sinha makes an argument. He says all the names were given 6 months back. Why is the country asking any questions? Why do 1 billion people ask questions now? I want to ask you, Aman Sinha.
No, I'm open to all the questions.
Aman Sinha, listen
to all
to
the
me.
questions.
Listen, I'll just prove you wrong. At just 2 points, I will completely demolish your argument. Just give me two minutes and 2 points. First point is, who was in power 6 months back?
You've been speaking all the time.
Who was in power 6 months back?
June when the names were shared, we were in power.
No. Is it true, Aman Sinha, that in April 29th this year, now you know, Mr. Sinha, you are really caught now. The UPA was in power on April 29th this year when they submitted 26
Arnab,
names
please,
from the Liechtenstein list and their details in front of the Supreme Court. I'm not talking about SIT. You submitted names whether or not are under the probe to the SIT on June 27th. I am saying when the names were given in front of the Supreme Court on April 29th this year, who was in power?
I guess the Congress party was in power, and I
Yeah,
guess
if the Congress party was in power, what was Baba Ramdev doing?
Many judicial
Why were all of you complaining about the Congress party?
After
Today you
how
come on the
many
program and you
judicial
take credit for what the Congress
was
party
the Congress party compelled
did. You
to
take
come and
credit
share
for what the
those
Congress
names?
party did.
They made every possible effort.
Then why did you make it a political
They did not
issue?
even constitute an SIT for 4 years, Arnab. There was monumental laxity.
Okay, second
and it
point.
Was only
Second
for
point.
the reason that they are
Second
aware
point. On the first
that
point, I
most
think
of these names which are there, they are all
Okay,
associated
Sanjay
with
Jha.
Congress
Okay,
party.
Sanjay Jha.
Stop brazenly lying
And
on
I'm
a
not here to
national
defend
channel.
Baba Ramdev or anybody
Let
else.
me tell you,
I'm
Arnab,
here
he's
to defend
once
my
again
party.
being brazen and blatant double standards here. Arnab, I'll give you an example here. Simple example. This is the party
that
that
is
went
right,
to town.
These
and
are
they
not
have
only
a
favorite
gentleman by
words
the
of
name
Sanjay
Mr. Arun
Jha,
Jaitley,
these
who's
are
a
his favorite
legal
acts also.
expert. Now, Mr. Jaitley, Aman Sinha, can you kindly take a deep breath and be silent? Take a Baba Ramdev deep breath. Some meditative piece will be good for you.
But please,
End
kindly,
of day, your
kindly
government
do not,
went to town
kindly do not
saying
make
that
such sweeping
disclose the
allegations
names.
and
I have the
personal
quotes of
allegations.
Nirmala Sitharaman, Ravi Shankar Prasad. And you have a legal luminary in Arun Jaitley who obviously knew what the double taxation treaties was. And
Absolutely
today the
right.
finance minister,
And
until
only
he's been
because
forced to
of
declare
legal
by the
luminary
Supreme
like
Court,
Arun Jaitley,
justified
we are
that
able
we
to
cannot,
overcome these impediments
justified
and
that
share
we
those
cannot
names.
disclose the names
Mr.
because
Sanjay
of prosecutable
Jha,
evidence
your
not
party
being there.
only
So who are you
created
trying
legal
to protect?
impediments
Which
when
big
you were in
business are you
power
trying to
in order
protect?
to stop
Which big
getting
politician
any
are you trying to
information,
protect?
any money.
What
And
is
it
your
was only
motive?
because of
What
Mr.
is your
Arun Jaitley
intention?
that
Where
we
are
could
you really
overcome all
coming
those
from?
legal impediments.
Because you won
We
the
are
election, Mr.
renegotiating with
Sinha.
Swiss.
You won the election
Arnab,
on
I have to
corruption.
come in.
You won
Arnab,
the election on
Arnab, I
blaming
have
the
to come in.
Congress party and
The Congress
everybody on
party-
corruption.
the
And
Congress
today for
party
6 months,
surrendered
you have
all
done
the
nothing
rights
at all
of
until
getting
the
any
Supreme Court has
information
making you do
prior
things.
to 2006.
Arnab, they even
And
tried to
today
take
they
credit
are
of the
coming around and
SIT
telling
when it
us
was ordered
that,
by
you
the
know,
Supreme
BJP
Court.
is,
Question number
Aman
two.
Sinha, stop bluffing
What moral
India.
right they have to
Indians
speak?
are smart.
And let me tell
Indians
you,
can see through
if
you.
it was not for Mr. Arun Jaitley and the present NDA government, we wouldn't have these investigations.
Question
wouldn't have
number
progressed.
two.
Oh, really?
Question number
Oh, really?
two.
You have been beaten
And they would
black
have been
and
shed
blue
blue
Mr.
today.
Professor
You are
Vaidyanathan.
red-faced today in front of
Professor
the entire
Vaidyanathan.
country.
Professor Vaidyanathan. My second question, actually, if I give it to Aman Sinha, he'll be demolished completely if I give him my second question because he will have no answer. I put that question to you and then let's see how he bats that one.
I've been hearing those threats, but
The second point,
nothing
you
has
see,
come
why
come
were
out
we
as
told
yet,
the
or not?
names cannot be given? We were told the names cannot be given because the cases have not been looked at in detail and you need to look at the cases in detail. Right? Investigating agencies have to brief and study the cases in detail before they are able to decide what to do with the investigation, right? Now, I was looking through some previous reports
Arnab,
and I saw, no, Aman Sinha, this is very instructive for you. Please,
No, you
it will
have
help
posed
you
the question.
solidify your argument. 1 second. Professor Vaidyanathan, the affidavit that
Please, Arnab, you have been helping Congress party here.
I need
do
to
not
help
need any
nobody.
help. Your right
don't-
as
I don't
journalist-
intend to help anybody.
No. Your right as journalist to
Arnab,
question is
Arnab.
This is a
That might be your
reprehensible
intent.
charge that every
But in your
political party
arguments,
puts at me
today-
when I ask them uncomfortable
By the
questions.
way,
I am not in the business
black
of.
money is a national issue. Stop
I am
playing
not in the
politics
business
on it.
of-
Absolutely not.
I am not in the
Say politics
Now,
on it.
I am not in the business of pleasing egos. Now, Professor Vaidyanathan, the affidavit the government submitted to the Supreme Court yesterday states
Arnab.
that the chairman and the vice chairman of the SIT
Briefly.
have been briefed. Listen, Aman Sinha, the affidavit the government submitted to the Supreme Court yesterday states
No, you are not allowing me
that
to
the
answer,
chairman
Arnab.
and the vice
You have leveled
chairman
the charge
of the
against me, but you are not allowing me to
SIT
answer.
had been briefed of the cases in detail on the 5th of August. If the chairman and vice chairman of the SIT have been briefed in detail, which means the cases have been looked at in detail on the 5th of August, how can you use that same excuse to stop submitting the names to the Supreme Court now? That means you have gone through the cases in detail on the 5th of August. You are totally exposed.
Arnab.
Professor Vaidyanathan?
No, nobody is exposed.
Arnab,
Please
I am
have a
very
look.
happy because
Order
1 minute.
states
Professor
force
Vaidyanathan is an
to
expert.
Normally-
particular matter. And the Supreme Court of India in this very
Arnab.
matter categorically states
Professor
that,
Vaidyanathan is an
unless
expert.
proper investigations are done, the government would have no
Arnab.
right to share, the names of, such persons in public domain. This is what order of the
Professor
Supreme Court says.
Vaidyanathan is an
4th of
expert.
July
Please listen to
2011
him.
order which everybody is relying
Please
upon.
listen to Professor Vaidyanathan and please have some regard for his expertise. Yes.
I am quoting an order of the
Arnav,
Supreme Court in the very same matter.
Oh,
Arnav.
please, Professor Aman
I
Sinha.
thought, Arnav,
4th of
let
July
me-
2011. Make a note of it. And please get it cross-checked.
Thank you. Professor.
Arnav, I thought you treat me like the 12th man, but today some small opportunity has been given. Thank you very much for that. Otherwise,
I love
I'm
that
normally
sarcasm.
observing all these people cacophonious sound, right? Now, there are two issues. One is on June 27th, as per the affidavit, the entire list has been given to SIT. And now SIT is constituted by the government under the instruction of Supreme Court, and Supreme Court is to monitor the functioning of SIT. Let me repeat it. Supreme Court is to monitor the functioning of SIT. And on the August 5th, there has been an extensive discussion with the chairman and the vice chairman of the SIT by the ministry on all these cases. Now, I am really puzzled. Where does this issue of revealing the names comes at all to the court? Because SIT is under the SC, under the Supreme Court. No, let me complete. I am really puzzled. There is some communication gap or something is happening. But the more important issue, I think, which we are not adequately focusing, two issues. One issue is the ministry asking for the forthcoming American treaty with India, US treaty, wherein there are some stringent clauses, and for that they wanted the original judgment of the 2011 to be modified in order to go along with the US treaty. It is not required that US treaty should be similar to 43 countries with which they have entered. By December we are supposed to enter into that. Anyhow, that is the primary purpose of this entire exercise, which I think Supreme Court in its judgment has felt in its thing that it is not required. We are not going to relax our 2011 judgment. The moot and most important question is 100+ people have been given amnesty by the UPA government of the HSBC list. It is not very clear to me whether those 100 are part of this list or not. And some of them have been hurriedly given in the last 15 days before May 16th. This question nobody is asking. And the finance minister that time has clearly told he has never looked at the list. Then who was empowered by whom to give amnesty? Amnesty is something very, very serious. Not one or two. 100+ have been given.
Why?
And I want to know who were given in the month of April and May. This question, I think, is the most important question for which answer should come from the present NDA or the past UPA.
Yeah, somebody
Last
has to
point,
tell us. No.
UPA doesn't have any
Good
type
point.
of responsibility or anything to talk about it. In 2009, Pratibha Patil, in the joint session starting, I will read it if you want, clearly told, 2009, she told both the parliament session that our government will take full endeavor to bring back the entire black money in a few months. It's not by the party leader or anybody. President of the Republic promised and nothing happened. The maximum UPA did was to prevent the names being given and entered into DTAA with Germany, which is not required. It is purely a stolen data. I think in the last program I told you.
You are right.
The German Foreign Intelligence Agency stole from Liechtenstein, and then German finance minister was offering it free. And when it was offered free, India did not go. And I got very worried because when something is offered free, Indians are not in the queue. I always get worried. And that is the reason I wrote to a lot of ministers and MPs, and Advani is the one who took up the matter very seriously. So let's forget about UPA's role. The UPA role, only role, which you also should take care and ask the relevant question, who are those 100 who were given amnesty?
It's a good point. Sanjay Cha
And
raises
under
this, and
what provision?
I don't know. I don't know. Frankly, do you know?
Under what provision?
Do you
And
know?
why
No,
was
I
some
don't
of them-
know. All I know is
Arnav.
that the UPA, 1 minute, all I know is that the UPA government submitted the names of all those people against whom no action was being contemplated. But Professor Vaidyanathan, they gave those names to the Supreme Court.
That is, but not these 100 names for which they have given amnesty.
That's right, Arnab. You're absolutely
Secretly.
right. And Mr. Vaidyanathan should know the reason why the government had to take a legal due diligence was because the names of HSBC Geneva were stolen names, and stolen names were submitted to the French government. You cannot
No,
just
I am
start
not
taking
talking-
action
No,
on this
speaking,
until you
Arnab, I am not
ascertain
able
its
to understand.
authenticity and find out its
I am not
official.
talking about
So I
Geneva,
don't
I am
want
not
to.
talking- I am
That's a
talking-
red herring,
That's
Mr.
good.
Vaidyanathan.
Yeah, country
I think the
called
bigger
license
issue that you
doesn't
need to
reveal names,
realize
it's
today
fine.
is that why did
BJP
Mr.
reveals
Arun
names.
Something may
Jaitley
not
You say
have
that
heard.
it
why
is a
did
charge
Mr.
against the
Arun
government.
Jaitley release 3 names? Is the BJP government making an assumption that only 3
Because
names are due to
investigations
be
were
acted
complete.
upon? Because
Complete
if the
and
Supreme
wrongdoing
Court
was
has
found.
asked for all the names,
And therefore those
it
names
tells
were
you
released.
that the fish needs, that the net has to be a lot larger to catch the big fish.
Really? And what were you fishing with?
They have
And what were you fishing
Well,
for?
Mr. Sanjay Jha,
And what kind of fishermen
He's
were you?
exposing himself
Now,
and
Mr.
the
Aman
Congress
Sinha, hear
party.
me before I go into the break. Don't try and even attempt to reduce this discussion to technical garble. Look deep within today, Mr. Sinha, deep within.
And
And
please allow
ask
me to
yourself
respond
whether
also.
this is a missed opportunity. Because you have been forced to reveal the names to the Supreme Court after its criticism, after getting a tongue lashing from them, not something you did out of your volition. It is a reactive measure what you have done, and the Supreme Court has stolen your thunder. Think about that. The debate continues on the other side. Let's see what Aman Sinha has to say.
no, Arnab.